My name is Kathy Baumgartner-Hetrick, and Steve Philippi and I undertook a very large project this year of the 250th anniversary of Palmyra. We have decided to do some oral histories of people who have lived in Palmyra. Most of them are over the age of 80 or 85, and we asked them to tell us their story about Palmyra so that we could put together a DVD that you're going to watch now that has the stories of Palmyra based on the people who have lived here. We hope you enjoy it. We've had a fun time doing it, and we think you'll learn a lot about Palmyra and the history of Palmyra through the stories of Palmyra.
I'm Mr Groff. I was born here in Palmyra at 236 North Locust Street, and my dad was in the electrical business. He got started back in 1927, right after Depression days and so on. He worked for Dolphin Electric Supply in Harrisburg, and of course they ran out of work, and the last job was on the Market Street Bridge, putting the lighting on the Market Street Bridge in Harrisburg. A minister by the name of Frank Garber moved to this area, in fact the first farm north of the Gravel Hill Church. And at that time, Metropolitan Edison Company was expanding their electric lines. And Reverend Garber came to him, they both went to the same Church of the Brethren, and asked if he would be interested in doing the wiring for him, because he knew he was out of work. He said yes he would, but he didn't have the money to buy the material.
Okay.
So Reverend Garber said, well, I'll buy the material if you want to do the work.
So they had no electricity in that farm?
No electricity at that point. And so word of mouth, that's how he got started in business. And he worked out of his home on Locust Street for a while until he moved to 250 Locust Street. Worked out of there for till I was a junior or senior in high school. And then Dr. Hartman, Dr. Samuel Hartman here in town, was our family doctor, and he said to him one time, you know, he said, the Whelan property over on Chestnut Street is for sale. He said, I think that would be an ideal place for you to move in and open a store there, because what had happened, he had put an electric stove and electric refrigerator in our home for Mother, used that as a showroom when he did wiring for people.
Oh my goodness.
And he said there you could have a showroom and so on and sell irons, toasters, this way. And so that's when he bought the property over there on Chestnut Street.
And that's on the corner of the alley, right?
That's on the corner, yeah. Then of course sometime later they expanded and put the showroom on the front. And
so when your father, that's fascinating that your father was put out all the electric in that farm. What you said, Med-Ed was expanding. What did they have at that point? Just to the edge of town? Or?
Right, it was just within the borough here, and then they started moving out. And of course, as they moved out, they needed to have electricians for it. And as I said, that's how he really got started.
And then you, as you went through school and went at a job, then you
After
decided
school,
that was a good business
After
too.
school, I really struggled with whether I wanted to go on to college or not. And
did you have to become like a licensed electrician?
at that point, no, there was nothing like that.
Okay.
You know.
Because I was going to ask that about your dad. You know, I didn't know if he had to.
No, I don't know how he actually, picked up the electrical trade, but there was nothing like licensing or permits or anything at that point.
Okay, all right. And you were a very successful business in Palmyra for a number of years.
Yes, we did, I don't know how many, it was over 100 schools and churches we did the electrical work on. At one point, Dad had 7 trucks on the road. We had a unique system. With us living in the apartment in the we had an arrangement of a bell on the door and so on. And so they would go up in our kitchen and work on the table. And if someone came in the store and the bell rang, and then we would go down. Same thing with the telephone. We had the same telephone number as the store. And I wouldn't recommend that to anybody.
I know. You never got away from work, did you?
Right. But they spent a lot of time, you know, estimating and so on, working up in our kitchen. And it worked out well.
Well, thank you again. Thanks for coming and sharing your story. Thanks for the contributions that you gave to Palmyra through the years in your many businesses and civic actions.
It was my pleasure to be here and talk with you.
Good, good. Thank you.